Renting in Las Vegas. This is how you want to do it. So you want to approach it, number one, either with a realtor or without a realtor. And I'm going to explain both. Let's say you find a house on Zillow, you love it, it fits your criteria, it's in the location you love. The first thing you want to do is, if you're doing it without a realtor, if you're doing it yourself, you want to call the property manager up and ask if they have any applications. They say no, then you want to try to go see the property for sure. Now, a lot of those times it can be difficult, especially if you don't have an agent, because property managers are busy people. Sometimes they'll show it themselves, but most times they'll try not to. They'll have somebody else do it. So they'll say, hey, I have an agent in office that could go open the door for you at this time. And sometimes they'll just straight up tell you, you need to go get an agent and have somebody open the door for you. So it's a hit or miss with that. I would say, like I said, to make it easier, I would just hire a realtor to help you, especially with that, so you won't have that headache of, you know, planning all these trips and calling all these people up. It can be time consuming, and sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So there's a lot of property managers here in Las Vegas. All the homes that they list will always have requirements. So some property managers will have a rubric, and I'm gonna show you guys a picture on here, that way you could see an example. And it's gonna pretty much have like a scoreboard, right? Or a score at the end. And it's gonna say, okay, credit 660 plus, check, you get 2 points. Credit 600 or below, you get 0 points. And the more points you have, you know, the better qualified you are, the more likely it is for them to accept you as a tenant. The other way that property managers qualify people are just through basic requirements that most of them, in my experience, set. So for example, here in Vegas, it's pretty common. You must make 3 times the rent. So if you're looking to rent a $2,000 house, you have to be making $6,000 a month, okay? And they'll verify that. They'll ask for pay stubs, they'll ask for bank statements, prepare for all that. It's almost like buying a house, except you're not. On top of that, there are some pet restrictions that, you know, can unfortunately hinder the process and make things more complicated, unfortunately, right? One way that I've helped clients get around this are emotional support letters. So if that's something that you're having a struggle with, consider that. They're gonna be doing a background check on you. So if there's anything like a felony and stuff like that, you could have a really hard time, really challenging time getting into a rental through a property manager. One other thing to keep in mind, which is probably the most important thing, is credit. A lot of property managers want you to have the best credit. Some are unrealistic, you know, they expect really good credit. But most I've seen here in Vegas, the majority are like 640, 650 plus. As long as you're above that, you know, you're good to go. If you have anything lower than that, you'll also have a challenging time getting a property here because it's challenging. Now, there are some situations where, at least if you have money, like a lump sum of money, then you could potentially negotiate with that. Say, hey, I'll give you 3 months rent up front type of thing. Or hey, if they're asking for a double security deposit, and if that's something that you're comfortable with because you have to move or whatever, then you could do it that way as well. You can negotiate a little bit, and as realtors, we'll have all those negotiating tips that we use with our clients, especially if you're in a bad situation, like very bad credit, but have a good amount of income. So definitely keep all those things in mind. And the last thing you want to keep in mind is costs. If you're renting a average single family house, $2,000 a month, the rent is going to be $2,000 a month. Keep in mind that a lot of people don't include sewer and trash, so they'll put at the very bottom plus an additional $45 for sewer and trash, or something like that, 35, 45. Each property manager charges differently, which in my opinion, it should just already be included. I don't know why we're including stuff later. Now, a quick pause. Something to keep in mind is that the state of Nevada has actually come out with a new law that is removing any junk fees. So starting October 1st, the rent price is going to be the rent price. There's not going to be anything like plus an additional sewer trash or lifestyle fee or anything like that. Another thing that they changed is going to be the application fees. Usually if you were to apply for a property and you weren't accepted, you'd lose out on that money, $75 to $100 or more in application fees. This will be changing, and now if you're not accepted, you will need to be refunded that application fee, which is a great thing. You'll also have security deposits, which can be another $2,000 to $2,500. We'll have cleaning deposits, can be another $200. We'll have pet deposits. If you have a pet, $500, $300. And we'll have key deposits as well, which can be $200 to $250. Once again, I wish they just included it into the security deposit because it seems like a lot. On top of that, I didn't even mention, but you also have application fees. That's a fee. Fees are non-refundable. The deposits are, so usually you have to apply for each adult. So if you have 4 adults in your family, like husband, wife, and then 2 adult kids, expect to pay 4 application fees for each property that you apply to. There are also realtor costs, and also some other companies have other stuff like administration fees and miscellaneous fees, etc., etc. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. That's something that you can expect here in Las Vegas. And at the end of the day, when you're paying all these fees, you want to make sure it's worth it, because a lot of people don't know, but if you qualify to rent, especially here in Las Vegas, you're definitely qualified to buy. You know, here in Vegas, you have to make 3 times the rent, where when you buy, you only have to make 2 times the mortgage. So, which maybe is not a good thing, but it's a little bit more flexible. You also don't have a background check. You also don't have any pet restrictions or anything like that. So that's something to keep in mind. Not saying you should, but something that you definitely want to keep in mind. Once again, my name is Kevin. I'm here in Las Vegas. I am helping people find rentals here in Las Vegas. So if you're looking to rent here in Las Vegas, let me know. But once again, you don't have to use a realtor, which is why I taught you here how you can do it yourself. And yes, I did mention that it would be easier with the realtor, but like I said, it's totally possible to do it yourself. I've helped many people do it themselves. Now, if you don't want to deal with any of that, that's when you do want to hire a realtor so they can make all the appointments and work for you. Let me know if that's you. Full disclosure, I do charge a $500 retainer fee, so that it's no surprise if you decided to work with me. Let me know if you guys have any questions. See you in the next video.